you found the best tutorial on how to add Google Play services to your Godot mobile game. So let's get started. The first thing that you need to do is download these two files, which will be available in the description of this video, and then go over to Play Game Services, and then you want to click Configuration, and then click on Create New Play Game Services Project. Now if you already have a cloud project, you can select it, but in this case we're going to create a new one. I'm going to call this Best App. Okay, so once that's done, go back to our Google Console page, click Done. If it doesn't show, you're gonna have to refresh the page a couple of times. Here we go. Click Use. Okay, once that's done, we're going to need to do all of these instructions. So the first thing they're going to have to do is OAuth. OAuth is the Google Play Services menu that is going to show on your mobile device. So let's go ahead to Google Cloud Platform, and then here are two user types. In this case, we're going to select external. And why do you want to select external? Because this is for complex testing. Normally big companies use this, but since I bet you guys are small companies, click on external and then click create, and then you need to fill all of this. This is my developer email, and then you can also see how the info is going to be presented to users here. If you're going to release your app on the Google Play Store, then you need to fill all of this, but since we're just going to test it using a debug app, we don't need to fill this in. Next, what are scopes? Scopes are the permissions that you request to users. So basically it's just the permissions that the users can select so that the developer can use those permissions to provide achievements, leaderboard, cloud. In this case, you only need to select the following. So let's go ahead and click on 50 to show all of the permissions. You only need to click on this OAuth cloud platform. This is so that we can save and load. If you go down, you also need to click here, Google Play Services. This is so that we can allow the user to view his leaderboard, achievements, and saved games. So click on update and then click on save and continue. Okay, test users. These are the users that are going to be able to test your game and to be able to view the Google Play Services window while it's on testing mode. You only need to do this if you're going to test your app, but if you're going to release your app, then don't worry about this. But in our case, we're going to test it. I'm going to add my personal email. Okay, save and continue. Okay, once that's done, back to dashboard. Okay, now let's go back to our Google Play Console and click Confirm Configuration. Next thing is create credentials. So go ahead and click here on Add Credential. A credential is a way for Google to verify what platform the user that downloaded your game is using. In this case, we're going to select Android. And what is anti-piracy? This is just a way so that it prevents users who haven't installed our game from Google Play to access Play Game Services. Let's go ahead and click Create our OAuth client. Now, why do you need to create OAuth client? Because we need a client for debug testing and another client for release. So let's go ahead and click on create OAuth client. Let's go click on Android client. We're going to call this debug client. Remember, credential is a way for Google to identify what platform the user is using. So we need to create one for debugging and another one for an official release. So package name. So let's go ahead to our project. So let's go ahead back and paste this in, and SHA-1 certificate fingerprint. Okay, so this is where stuff is going to get interesting. SHA-1 is basically this certificate, so that this is just a way for Google to know that you're not messing around with their services. To be able to get the SHA-1 certificate fingerprint, you need to copy this, and then you need to go to your key stores folder or wherever your key store that you're going to use is going to be. Remember, you're going to create a client for debugging and another client for official releases. In this case, we're going to first create one for the debug client. So you're going to write cmd, and then you're going to paste debug.keystore, enter, and then the password is always Android. Copy this, go back here, let's paste this in. You only need to click this if you release your app on Google Play. So let's click on create. Now let's click on create credentials again and OAuth client, Android. Now we're going to do one for official releases. I'm gonna call this release client. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy this command, go back to our key source folder, write cmd, paste. This is the key store that I use for released apps. Let's go ahead and click enter. Whenever you're using a official key store, you need to put your own password. In this case, my password is different than Android. Copy, let's go back, paste this. The reason why I'm not gonna click on verify ownership yet is because it still didn't release the app on Google Play. But if you release it on Google Play Store, then you need to click on verify ownership. Create. Okay, so as you can see, we have a release client and a debug client. So let's go ahead to our Google Play console and then click none. Then let's select the OAuth client. Remember, we're just going to test our app, so we're going to select debug client and let's save changes. Okay, let's go back. So to do this, we're going to have to set up the plugin. Just go ahead to our Godot project and first install Android build template. And then let's go ahead to assets and let's go to import and select the plugin that I told you to download, and then click on install and then click on OK. And then once that's done, we need to go ahead to our project settings, enable this, and then go to project export, enable Godot build. Let's close. Let's go ahead to our project folder and let's go to Android build and then open Android manifest. Let's go down. Remember those two files that I told you to download? Well, one of those is the guide, and inside the guide there's going to be these lines that you're going to need to copy, paste it just above application, save, go to Android build res values and then strings, and then in here you're going to have to substitute this with our project ID. But how do you get the project ID? Well, it's very easy. Just go back to Google Play console, then scroll down, and then here you're going to find your project ID. Just go ahead and copy that, paste, save, close this. Now go ahead to our Godot project. Now we're going to use a node that is provided with the plugin. Just go ahead to add-ons and let's go ahead to Google Play services, move this to here. Let me explain what is this. So these are buttons and each is going to be used to do something with the Google Play services. In our case, we're just going to add achievements. One thing, Google Play Services provides different types of signals that you can use. Let's say as an example, you're going to show a loading emoji, and then you want this loading emoji to hide once the sign-in has been successful or once the sign-in has been failed. So let's go back to our main script, and now as you guys can see, I have already set up all of the buttons, but remember in this case we're only adding achievements. So let's just unshow this. So what this does, this just signs in, this signs out. If you guys want to know what functions we can use, you can simply click on the Google Play Services script and you will be able to see all the functions that you can use. Let's go back to our main, and then here when you code this, you are trying to unlock an achievement. When you code this, you're trying to add points to an achievement, and once those points have reached the maximum points, you'll be able to unlock it, and then this shows all the achievements. Substitute this ID, go to Google Play console, scroll down to achievement, click on create achievement. I'm gonna call this unlockable achievement. Hello. I'm going to use this icon. If you make it hidden, it's not gonna show this achievement if it's not unlocked. Save as draft. Copy this ID, paste this here for an increment achievement, or basically an achievement that can only be unlocked by adding points to it. Create achievement. Bye bye. Upload image. Select this option. This is basically how many points it needs to unlock itself. I'm gonna put 5. Copy the ID, paste this here. How many points you wanted to add? I'm going to add 1 point. So this function is going to have to be called 5 times to unlock the achievement. So once that's done, we need to go to testers. Click on testers. Since we're going to test our app, I'm going to have to add tester. I'm going to add my personal email and add. Okay, and that's done. We're done. So now we just need to export the project to our mobile device. Click sign in. Remember, since we're testing this app, it's going to show this menu. And then continue. And then remember, these are the scopes. Continue. Okay. 5.345 achievements. Now we can see that all of our achievements are unlocked.